said, excuse me, you don't understand where I'm at. I was all around the world, on span, across the map.
Hello, everyone. Today is another latest Monday report with the MCU'S Bleeding Edge. This is Andreas Pop Culture Guy. Today I'm with Cyberneticshark. Hello, Cyber. How you doing?
Hello, I am good, sir. Looking forward to talking the Penguin.
Awesome. And right here we got Jeff. Jeff, what's his name? Jeff has TrueKnowledge. Yes, that's his name. Jeff, True has knowledge here today. How you doing, sir?
It's the first time you ever introduced me before like that. That was interesting.
Well, hey, I mean, I think everyone knows that I'm moderating tonight's show. If anyone haven't seen House of the Dragon, we're gonna do our rotate here. So next week, Jeff is gonna take over, and then I'll do episode 3, and yada. That's how we're gonna do for the Penguin. So today we're discussing episode 1, called After Hours, the Penguin. If everyone knows what about this show is about, this is the Penguin Show, the spinoff from the 2022, the Batman movie. Of course, that was starring Robert Pattinson, or Bat Pattinson. And yeah, this is starring Colin Farrell, starring a huge ensemble cast. I mean, Clancy Brown's in it, Mark Strong, and one of the actresses playing Sophia Falcone. Yeah, huge cast, which we'll get into. So let me kind of start out with you, Jeff. Before we do our, this sec of the episode, what's your initial thoughts of episode 1, and were you excited about the show when it was first announced?
I was excited for the show when it was first announced, but then when it took so long for them to make it, I lost some of that enthusiasm for it. You know what I'm saying? Because let's be honest here, the trailers are good, but they weren't anything to blow you away or anything like that either, though. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't feel like they were anyway. I didn't watch the trailers and think, this is this blows me away. But I saw some of the initial reviews of the Penguin on YouTube, for instance. I saw some of that, initially, and so I knew that good things were being said about the show. So I went into it with an open mind, and it went ahead and really redeemed me a little bit, because of some of the other stuff that I've been watching, like The Acolyte, Rings of Power, right? This is watching this first episode was really redeeming, to be able to go back to another really solid TV series like The Penguin. The first episode is really great.
Awesome. Cyber, you're next. Give me your thoughts on the initial first episode. But were you excited about the show when it was initially announced?
Oh, hell yeah, because I absolutely loved Colin Farrell as the Penguin and the Batman. He was one of my all-time favorite characters in the film, and I was just I need more of this character. So when they announced that they were doing either a movie or a TV series, I was psyched as shit. So yeah, I was really excited, and this first episode lived up to the hype. It was amazing. It probably is one of the best pilots I've seen in a long time, and it's a solid entry into the DC, the Batman, universe.
Yeah, I completely agree. For my new shots, I was very curious about the spinoff. I mean, the Penguin. In general, the Penguin character is not my favorite Batman villain, and so I was a little skeptical about the spinoff. But Colin Farrell is a great actor. He was the MVP, as Cyber said before, from the Batman. So I was very excited to see more of him and his performance. And the first episode did not disappoint, and I agree with Cyber. This was probably the greatest strong pilot ever. I'd never seen this strong of a pilot to just roll you right away in the plot and all that. So let's get into the sequence here at the beginning. So oh, I'll hit the wrong button. Oh, okay, hopefully Cyber can come in again. Yeah, exactly. Help, please don't leave me with this guy here. Help me. Anyway, so 1 week after the seawall explosion in Gotham City, the city experienced several crime waves while rumors spread that Alberto Falcone, the son of the decreased crime boss Carmine Falcone, is poised to take over the family business as we hear the news of what happened with the last, from the Batman ending and all that, and we see briefly the same ending shot from the Batman with seeing the Penguin staying out in the office, looking outside of Gotham City, being flooded. So Oswald Oscorp, aka the Penguin, recovers a stash of Falcone's variables, like stuff like blackmail, the highest politicians, all that that he has under his belt, and he covers all this from Oz Club, from the comic book slash the movie that we saw here, the Iceberg launch. While he is getting these stash of variables from the office, he is caught by Alberto, of course played by what's this guy's name? Michael Steinick, from the TV shows Rescue Me, Boardwalk Empire. But he's I think a lot of people know him as the husband of Miss Maisel from the Marvelous Miss Maisel from Amazon Prime. So he caught him there, and obviously, Oz convinced him that they are on the same side, and to try to calm him down, he say, if of course you don't have to take the drops, but a drink doesn't gonna hurt you, so they drink. And then while this conversation happens, Alberto discusses his new plan to Oswald to rebuild his father's empire with this new drug that he has shipped in the calendar date of September 18th or something like that. We'll get into the phone thing. So after that, during this time, however, I say, Alberto feels insulted, believing Oz wants to take over his criminal operation. Because Oz was talking about this gangster that he inspired him to take this job, or like in general, this guy that was like somewhat of a good fellows back in the day, that helped him in his whole neighborhood that Oswald was living in Gotham City. But while he told the story, of course, Alberto insults and fillers Oswald's ambitions. And unfortunately, this is the twist that I was not expecting from. So Alberto gets shot. He gets killed by Oswald. So let me stop there. I'm gonna start with you, Saber. What you thought about the initial first sequence here, getting a recap on the Batman ending, and then seeing the conversation of Oswald talking to Alberto. We're ending the part where he gets killed by Oswald, and then we cut to credits from the Penguin. So let me know your thoughts right there.
All right. So, I'm sorry. We're going to where again? Repeat.
We're stopping at when Alberto gets killed by the Penguin, and then we get to the credits.
Okay. All right. So the beginning or intro to this episode is really amazing. I love that they basically started right off where the Batman left off. Like, it doesn't skip a beat. They have it where it ends for the Batman and begins for the Penguin, because this is literally supposed to be in the same time frame. All this is going on with the Penguin. So I love that. I love the whole beginning intro with him and you learning out, about this, the son of, Falcone becoming the new boss because he's dead, played by Mark Strong. And I love their conversation that basically leads to him shooting him. And just the beauty of that whole scene is like how calm and collected the Penguin is throughout the whole scene. And all of a sudden he says one thing and he's like, boom, 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 boom. It's like, and you're just kind of like wanting him to go, did you see that coming? Like, it was like on point. And Colin Farrell as Oswald, as the Penguin, is phenomenal. The suit that they put on him, the attitude he presents, the voice, the walk, everything about him exudes the Penguin, and he is phenomenal as this character. So, I mean, this beginning sequence is Emmy-worthy nomination, I feel. This is a solid beginning with lots of great little tidbits to the Batman, because they mentioned the Riddler, they mentioned the Flood, they, basically kind of give you, like I said, go right from the Batman into this, which I just think was so fucking fantastic. So, fantastic intro, great way to start it off, getting into the episode, and just super solid.
Yeah, I agreed. This still reminds me of Goodfellas, like a little bit when we get introduced with our three main characters, and like when Harry, when they kill the main gangster in that film, and then when they close that car, it's like I always wanted to be a gangster, and it's literally like this, but the opposite of it. Seeing, the Penguin at his most calculating and vicious, nature. And that was really cool to see right away in this sequence with him killing Alberto that way. And I just love, because we know this is going to be like MP14, whatever the rating is, very much adult. I really like how he says fuck, but it gets cut off by the titles, which is great. Jeff, buddy, tell me your thoughts about from the recap from the ending of the Batman to pretty much the scene where the Penguin kills Alberto, and that cuts into the Penguin credit sequence, sir.
Well, that part where it rolls with just him staring through the window or whatever was deep. That was pretty cool, where it was like, flashbacking kind of and shit, and just showed him posed up, and it was showing him like looking through the window or whatever. That was pretty deep. And it was a really solid opening to a really, really solid opening episode to a really, obviously a really solid TV show. Well, let's say it's going to be. The Colin Farrell pulls off the Penguin character so well, and you find yourself staring at him at times, playing the character, because you want to look for flaws like in the makeup or something, you know what I mean, or like some kind of telltale sign that's Colin Farrell, but it's impossible. Like, they do a really great job. When they showed his foot later on, like, that was deep. Yeah, really solid intro to the episode. I can't really think of anything specifically that I want to mention. I mean, him shooting the dude was really intense. It was really intense. Like, it came out of nowhere. And then he just like popped it off. And then him being like cutting off on being like knowing he fucked up was really good. So that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Yeah. So, just before we get into the other major sequence, I was very surprised that they did this, because if you're a Batman fan like me or Cyber, if you know your Batman comic books, Alberto is a major character in the Batman comics. If you read The Long Halloween, spoiler alert, if you haven't read that comic book, he is the holiday killer that sets up that main premise of Batman Long Halloween. So I was very surprised that they coming off this way. But obviously, when we get into the episode, I kind of get why they did it. And like, it just sets up the motion of this pilot so well, and it makes sense. That's always, you need a hook, a hook for us to go with our main character and what's going to happen, because we know that this series is going to show us the rise of the Penguin as the biggest gangster in Gotham City. So I think this is a good way to start with that. And, so I really enjoyed that. And speaking of the aftermath. So after that initial, credits and then that killing, so the Penguin leaves to like dispose of the body. So you see this. This is a funny scene. He has like a garbage bag or something like that to cover his like fancy suit, and like obviously, Jeff brought up the wobble. He has a struggle to walk sometimes. As we've seen, he's like wobbles like a penguin, literally like a penguin. And he carries the body, and then I like how the moment he's like, "Wait a minute, I just could throw this body down to the first floor there," and he did. So, which was so funny. So he does that, and he goes outside to his like Pam car, fancy car, and he finds like a bunch of kids trying to rob his rims of his car, and he starts shooting at them. Now, only one of them like stayed behind. It's character Victor, a girl, is left behind. He forces Victor. Well, first up, what I really like about this, he has him corner, and he's about to shoot him until he starts starts to speak, but like he like stumbles, so he has like an impairable speech. And if you pay attention, this is a really important idea, because from the Batman or this episode, I really like, you can see that the Penguin is very much a disability character. Like he has a disability, if you see his walking, it's a very much disability. And I like how he spares this kid because he is almost similar to him, and so he kind of spares him in the moment here. It just forces him to help him, carry Abrota's body into his car. And and now he tells him, he forces him now to drive him around the city to do multiple errands. So in this multiple endings, he's trying to set up a good alibi for him, so that none of the Falcone family kind of gets suspicious that he's the person that killed Abrota. So we see him going first to like this very shady, prostitute area of Gotham City, where we meet another major character named Eve. Carlo, of course, played by Carmen Echeguil. She's from she's in the Purge Anarchy, and she was in the one of the Alien films. She's a prostitute lover for the Penguin, and he asked her to like help him get his alibi check. So yes, LOL, huh? Very funny. I hope you're talking about this prostitute. She looks very gorgeous.
Cyber, fix your camera.
No, leave it like that. He's handsome like that. Oh my God, what's the matter with you, Jeff? Anyway, anyway, I'm joking around. I'm joking. I've got a sense of humor, folks. Just like the Penguin. Like, come on, correct your sense of humor, sir. I'm just joking. Anyway, so he's setting up for that. And then they yet again dump Ambrota's body to another car here, and he is going to kill the kid, but Victor stops him to tell him that I can, I can be ambitious. I want to be part of this. And so the Penguin spares his life to, to be his assistant. So after that, we go into his house. This is where Jeff brought up that the whole food thing. So we stop at his house. By the way, a quick note: there's a jewelry store that's called Meredith's Jewelry. If you didn't catch that reference, that's Burgess Meredith, the former actor that played the Penguin in the '60s Batman show that started out in the West. So it's really cool that they actually nod one of the other Penguin actor that played this legendary character. So if you catch that name of the jewelry, that's honoring the actor that plays the Penguin from the '60s show. So we get into his apartment. His apartment is so flashy, and he tells the kid to take a drink of water or something like that. But don't steal things. I would know you steal something. So he closes his vault door, his jewelry like ironclad door, which is so funny. And he's stomps to his bed. We see his foot that's very I I know it's a type of disease he had, like for people that has this. So we see that he has some sort of a disability disease that is affecting his wobble, which is kind of cool. We discussed this, like at Cyber brought this up in Dark Knight. How can you realistically depict the scarring and the disability of these villains? Like the Two-Face. Like it was a good idea to have the Two-Face character be burned by some sort of flammable fire, as we saw in the Dark Knight. When we did our review there. Here, I like how they find a way to like get the Penguin like either wobbling or like some sort of defect in a very realistic way, and this was a cool way to do that, to explain why he needs like the umbrella, like for like that's the reason he needs an umbrella or like a cane to walk around. But of course he's using a bracelet for his pain for that right foot. So that was really cool way to like give this character a realistic reason he's wobbling like a penguin. So after that initial errand in the morning, he stops at his drug factory. Where, if you don't remember from the Batman, he does do drugs. His drug business is the drops. So we get a kind of catch up that is still operating. They're recovering the drops from the flood. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. These drug addicts will take the drugs no matter what. And so while Victor sees this operation, he gets a call from from the family, the Falcone, to meet them up in upstate in Gotham City. So he needs to go up and talk to one of the Falcones for that. So he does that. Unfortunately, Oz meets Johnny Vited, the underboss of the Falcone crime family. He informs the Oz the drug operation will move out of the city now to Robinson Town. And this is a really cool town because it's a reference to one of the comic book writers named Frank Robinson, who created Mad Bat. So they're going to want to move the drug operation to that, where that is a clean, like non-violent city than the one that's currently Penguin's is at. And Penguin sees this as like ridiculous, and so he's trying to like bargain them to like maybe keep the operation going. And so he decided to, he's protesting this decision, and so this is where he brings up the drug plan that Alberto mentioned him, and so he does. So he takes that plan, and he's telling them while he does this, we get this cool foreshadow like of someone coming from the back door. The two men are like a little nervous, and here we get our first introduction to another major character, one of the Falcone's other children, Sophie Falcone, a serial killer who has been released from Arkham Asylum, and so she knows Oz, and so they discuss, say hello, and then she's trying to get information from Oz. Where is Alberto? And she's trying to pressure him, and so and it's a little tense. And the two men are trying to stop her because obviously, if you ever seen Mafia thing, it's not good for business. So like the meeting is roughly ended, but Sophie comes outside talking to Penguin. Penguin tells her, I haven't seen Alberto and all that, and she's still pressuring on where is Alberto at Penguin, and she sees the car and the bullets, and he explains that one of the kids were trying to steal the wheels, yada yada yada, trying to cover up like where his whereabouts. Just to point out, I appreciate the color purple. If you're not a Penguin fan, it's cool that they kept his color scheme from the comic books. It's always purple, and so I really like that the suit he wears in this show, like in this pilot, the purple jacket and the car is a very good nod to his like ritual costume Penguin tradition that you usually see from the comics and the cartoons and all that. So that was really neat. So Sophie acts like she invites us to a for lunch, and they dine. And by the way, I just want to say this actress that's playing Sophie, the actress name Christine I cannot say her name, but like the actress from How You Met Your Mother, and of course Palm Springs. If you haven't seen Palm Springs, the very great time blue film, she's fantastic. Like these few scenes, she is really a awesome Batman villain that we got here. Very like scary, very like like very psycho. It scenes where you see her eyes pump up is like crazy, and the way she eats her food during the lunch is so like oh wow, you know, she's getting her hands dirty literally, and we see that in later in the episode she gets her hands dirty, and she tells her about the story how you know her dad, you know, Falcone, you know, tried to pay her and her brother, you know, to keep her, you know, the hands off the table and all that. She you know, she forgives Penguin what she did to her. Now apparently I think she read it out to her father to like put her in Arkham Asylum. By the way, great way to mention Arkham Asylum. So that was really cool. And I like too that they brought up her nickname, the Hitman. That's a nod to her actual serial killer name from the comic books in the sequel to Batman Law on Halloween called the Dark Victory. If you haven't read Batman the Dark Victory, Sophie's major in that story. I don't want to reveal too much of it, but she does. That's her serial killer name in that sequel. So it's cool that they brought that into this version of Sophie Falcone. So after they done with the dying, she comes up to, you know, kiss, you know, like a very gangster way of Penguin, and she say, I, unlike anyone people that I know you, and I never estimated you, Penguin. And so she knows that he is hiding something. She did something to Edward. So like she is not being fooled with the lies that Penguin is saying. And let me stop there. So let me start with you, Jeff. What you thought about Penguin meeting Victor, the kid, and seeing all the multiple errands like the prostitute, the house, the food that you brought up, and then let me finish in, you know, and then you know up to, you know, Falcone daughter and the lunch thing.
Yeah, the lunch was interesting. That actress does make for a good character with that female character, as you know, Sophia Falcone. I like her. She's a good figure. I love the addition of the kid to the mix. Like, you know, it really they do a good job with it. Like it could come off stupid the way that they do it. If they didn't do it right, it could look stupid, you know, like the way he recruits that kid, you know, but it works out good. And that kid's really good. Like he really makes the episode for me. You know, like he's great. So that was a really good, you know, good section of the episode, and really high quality episode. Just like at no point during my watch of it did I ever feel like I wanted it to end at all. I was totally down with whatever they kept giving me, like with the episode. They can keep on going for as far as I was concerned, because I was totally with it, like, and enjoying it. So yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Oh, you brought up Victor here. I agree with you. I like Victor in this episode. One of the things I actually like about him, he is like a proto Robin for the Penguin. Because it's funny how he meets this kid, because that's the same way that Batman meets the second Robin, aka Jason Todd, who is the Red Hood. If you've seen Batman Under the Red Hood, that's how Batman meets his secondary Robin. And so it's very funny that this Penguin meets this hitchman that's going to be in this whole series by literally stealing his car and his wheels. So I really dug that, and I like this little relationship they're doing. It's kind of funny. It's similar to Africa with that teen with Africa we're reviewing. It's kind of funny that these shows have some parallel like similarities, but it's just very different approach. I just want to bring that up because it's very funny how these shows overlap. So Cyber, let me get to you. What's your thoughts about the Vic kid through the dinner the lunch scene with Sophie and Penguin?
So I have to once again mention the body throw, like you mentioned. That was absolutely hilarious when he does that. When he discovers he could just throw the body, I was cracking up because like he's like carrying it, and then all of a sudden he's just like, okay, I could just toss it, and he tosses it, and that was absolutely freaking hilarious. But the introduction to Victor is really good. You can definitely tell that the kid is not 100%. Like there's definitely something that is wrong with him, that he definitely has some sort of impairment. That's why he's out here trying to boost caps and stuff like that. And I think it's interesting that the Penguin decides to use him instead of killing him. And I think that is kind of a great kind of like almost like brotherly bond type of thing going on there. And I think that is going to play on throughout the series. Kind of like what you guys were mentioning about the kind of the Batman Robin kind of dynamic. It's kind of that similar type of thing. I get it. And you can see that Penguin isn't 100% as evil as everyone's saying. And you see it in the scene when he, doesn't kill this kid and has him become kind of like his lackey. And you can see that, throughout the sequence, kind of his demeanor definitely changes throughout it, with the kid. And I think that the guy that plays Victor does a really good job with that. The prostitute sequence was great. I love that we got a titty flash. I love that this is a really hard R like TV show. I love it. I love that there's fucks in it. I love all of that. I love that it's a super mature rated show. And I absolutely love that. Plus the blood and gore and stuff like that has just been fantastic. And that was great. That the gal that plays the alibi for Penguin, I think did a really good job. And I think that what better way to get an alibi than with a whore? And that works perfectly. I was here between this time. Okay. And he, pays her and stuff like that, which is like, okay. But that the scene when they get to his apartment and he ends up showing his foot, that was freaking gnarly as hell. That was so cool because you're like, oh, that's why he walks the way he does. And that foot is fucked up. I don't know what the hell happened to it, but it got gnarly up. And the fact that, the whatever they used for the prosthetic there to make it look like it was his foot was so well done. And it totally looked like it could have been his real foot. And it was just done so well. And, once again, that sequence, as you were talking about, Andreas, about how he's like, don't steal anything. I know where you live. Once again, that's kind of that camaraderie going back for kind of that big brother dynamic, I feel. And I love that. And, leading up to, going to the drug place, which was a really interesting scene, showing the whole kind of their production that's going on. So that was really cool. I like that. I thought that was really done well because it looked very much like what probably a real drug production would look like in like a real city. And I like that it wasn't it looked very authentic. It didn't look all cartoony and stuff like that. So I thought they did a good job with that. And then leading up to the kind of the conversation with the Marcone guys, that was an interesting scene. Basically saying that they're moving their drug production, and he's kind of like thinking in his head. You could tell he was like, "What the fuck?" Like why? Kind of deal. And basically him spitting out what Alberto was gonna do, I thought was really a smart idea, and kind of to throw them off the scent of like, oh, like I had done something with Alberto type of deal, was like, give the suggestion. And I think that was really smart. And then the actress that plays Sophia, that woman is fucking unhinged. She is fantastic. I really thought she was a serial killer. That's how good she was in this. As soon as she popped up and she starts talking, I'm like, wow, this person seems actually mentally unfit. That's pretty damn good. And I'm like, where has this actress been? I want to see her in more shit. She was just really good. And my favorite part is I'm glad they kept her as white. I'm glad they didn't alter it. I'm glad they didn't change her. I'm glad they kept her what she was in the comics. And I appreciate that very much. And I hands down to the people that made Penguin, rock. You guys rock. And, you know, none of the characters, all the characters that have been in this first episode, you know, any relation to any of the other characters in the actual comic books have all stayed true to what they are. And I love that. And I love that they're keeping their origin stories and kind of developing them a little longer. And you get to see that in this with Sophia. Because if I remember correctly, it's Sophia, I knew she went to Arkham, but I didn't realize she was a serial killer. So that was something new for me. So I didn't look it up, but I do know that I believe she was definitely at Arkham for some reason. I wasn't sure what exactly, but Circo, that would be a perfect choice to be in Arkham. But the fact that she's like, you know, so Cavalier is like, yeah, I just got out. You're like, what the fuck? Like, seriously, like, who lets this person out of Arkham if they're a serial killer? Like, ah. And, you know, then, you know, basically all her questioning about Alberto is absolutely awesome and so well done. And then making it where she has to go to lunch with her. And I'm like, wow, Penguin, you need to get yourself out of this situation, sir. And I was like, holy crap. And when they get to that restaurant and having their conversation between each other, it's so intense on both ends and just so well played by both parties. And the way that the Penguin comes up with that great kind of like story to kind of get her off the case a little bit is on point. But at the same time, you keep looking at her as you explain it and kind of like, you know, leaving it at it is. You can definitely tell that she's still not agreeing. Like, she is not 100% there. And so that whole scene is great, really well done. You know, leading up to them leaving and her like the kiss and kind of like leaving at where like, I still think you did something, you know, kind of deal. Like, that was perfect and awesome. So really great section of the episode, really well done, and all in all, a great portion of the episode.
No, I agree. I love the little detail when she steps back, her smile turns to a frown, which was so scary, and then the music starts doing that string, like almost like a draw, like you know, like the Jaws theme and Steven Spielberg's Jaws when you hear the shark theme. It's literally like that. Like, she is a shark, and it's like she knows she's not being punked by the penguins. I really enjoyed that. There are a couple. Saber, you brought up the comic book. The Falcone two men in that house are from the graphic novel as well. The guy that say hello, oh Sophie, you're here, and that's like standing up is actually the right hand man of Falcone's bodyguard from the Long Halloween. And then I think the actor that's sitting down, I don't know his character. Yeah, I think his character is also in that Long Halloween. I just don't remember what role he plays. And you haven't read The Dark Victory. She was a serial killer. I don't think she was in Arkham. She was Arkham, but she was like injured after the end of the Long Halloween. But anyway, so after that scene, we get cut into Penguin getting Victor to accompany him to visit his mother, Frances. And what I like about this sequence, I like the world building. That's something we haven't brought up. The world building of the Batman. We've seen the post flood of the Riddler attack that happened in the end of the Batman. And you've seen particularly the hardest hit is called Crown Crown Town or Crown Heights or something like that. Oh my god, I'm forgetting the town. Crown Point is the neighborhood that's hit by the hardest by the flood. You see in when they're trying to take the train, the left side of the train, you see like the train is heavily damaged. Like the floods really hit Gotham City really hard in certain sections of the neighborhood, which I really like. One thing I really appreciate about Matt Reeves in this show, they're really expanding the city of Gotham City. Like we never get through to what Gotham City is, besides how stylized it is. And the Christopher Nolan trilogy, there's something I hate about the Nolan trilogy, how inconsistent they were. The first movie, you got like Chicago mixed with New York, and you had the Narrows, and then that's it. And then Dark Knight was all about Chicago, and then Dark Knight Rises was about half of New York. It was so messed up with the geographic of what Gotham City is. So I really appreciate this show and the Batman, how they're really like laying out what Gotham City is as a city, and like I appreciate they're showing us neighborhoods, just like any city we're living. Like I mean, New York has Brooklyn, Manhattan, and Queens. Very different, sections of New York. So I really appreciate that. While you see, them taking the transit, ports, right? You see a little bit of character detail, like Oz, doesn't sit in the handicap seats because he doesn't want to feel like like weak, because he has this disability, and I really like that detail. And then while they're at their last stop, you see one of these Riddler copycats that they're showing the like these URLs that show you the link, similar to how they did that in the Batman. So I really like this section of like the world building here. So Penguin meets his mother Frances. They have the little talk. It's what they really appreciate. This version of the Penguin, the mother thing is nothing new. If you see the TV show Gotham, they did this like relation with Penguin and his mother. This is something that's actually was pulled from this awesome storyline. If you want to be a Penguin fan, you have to read the seminal Penguin story called Pain and Prejudice. Great like origin story for the Penguin, and that deals with his like relationship of his mother, how he rise into being the Penguin. Great storyline. That's his killing joke. If make it easier for you people, that's the Penguin's killing joke, and you have to read it. And they really pulling some stuff from here for this show, for the centric story of the Penguin. And you see how the Penguin loves his mother, and you see how Frances has this also disability, illness, early signs of dementia, which is really sad. But you see also she's very like pushy, very bullish to Penguin. Like she pushes Penguin. It's like, what's going on? Like a Italian woman, like, what's going on? Why you pushing me here? Why are you staying in town here? And she gets it, and of course, Penguin tells her that he killed Alberto, and she encouraged him to take over the family and step up to take over the family business. So that's what happens. So Oz wants to leave the Gotham City, but his mother tells him he needs to accept the idea of taking over the city. Criminal underworld. So he really thinks of that. So really great scene. I haven't seen this actress that's playing Frances. Really good. I mean, she's really playing up the mother that's just very pushy and heavy onset dementia and all that. So I think she was really great for those few minutes we see her. She and Vic, I can see her and Vic going to die in the series. In the end of the series, like, because it's a crime show, just like Sopranos or whatever crime show you've seen, someone's gonna die, and I have a feeling the mother or Vic was gonna die, but we'll see. While that happens, one thing I did need to bring up, the name Cobb. A lot of people are complaining about the whole Commandant not being named Commandant. This makes a lot of sense because here's the thing: from the comic books, Oswald Commandant was always a aristocrat kind of person. He was a gentleman from society and all that from the comic books, and even Batman Returns. there was a reason he was named Comic Pop, because he was from like an elite family. Here, watching this pilot, this is the first time I really appreciate from a comic book, from the movies, like changing something makes sense, because he's not elite. This is a blue collar penguin. This is a middle class penguin. So it doesn't make sense to put the compound name for his last name. So it makes sense they shorten that last name to Cobb. And also like that detail, because his first name is still Oswald, but he shortens his name Oswald to Oz, because to keep it shortened, as an immigrant, because you can get a sense that he's from, like, if you don't know, if you're an immigrant, when you go into New York, United States, unfortunately the immigrant system is shorten your name so they can make it easier to know your name, and sometimes in society you kind of do that to be accepted. So I really like those details of why Oz, like, shorten his name Oz and all that. So after the house visit, he tells Vic, "You're now part of the game. You're my partner." He tells it, he takes the car here. He knows that his family are dead because of the flooding, because his part of was it the east part of Gotham City was hit hard, so his family are dead. But so he's gonna take him his way, and so he tells him to keep his phone, on him all costs. So that's taken care of. And one other thing, very funny, that apparently he listens 9 to 5, which a great song from the movie 9 to 5, played by the singer that's the aunt for Miley Cyrus. Love that movie. She's a great singer. Love 9 to 5. It was very funny when that song hit up. It was so funny. He's listened to that to get to his mom. It's like he's going to business, and we hear that again towards the end of the episode, which was funny. So after the house visit and all that, Oz visits the Blackgate Penitentiary to talk to Salvatore Moroni. Now, this is another major crime boss, the Falcone's rival. If anyone knows what happened to him in the last movie, The Batman, apparently Falcone, and with the help of the original mayor that got killed by the Penguin, rat out Salvatore Moroni, and he's in prison for the drug business that they did. And so he's in prison, and Penguin visits him to offer his partnership. So to offer him his work as a double agent and help him to destroy the Falcone criminal empire. Now, Moroni is unwilling to accept him because he knows Oz, because he really did that before. When Falcone was still operation, he was very nice to them, oh yeah, come on, Penguin, and all that. And it's like he knows he has his own agenda, and he's not gonna team up with him because how he is. But given that Oz previously worked against him, with the whole drug bust and all that. But Oz told him, "You need to think about it, brother, because you're missing out a great opportunity." And to put the icing in the cake here, Oz leaves, but he returns the ring. Now, this is something we didn't bring up at the beginning. Apparently, Carmine and Alberto had the ring from Moroni for a trophy to symbolize that they had taken over his business and they own Gotham City, And so Oz returns this ring to Moroni, to kind of show the sign of trust. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it works. So let me stop there, and let me remind people, Moroni, Salvatore Moroni, another major character from Batman comic books. He is the man that actually creates Two-Face. He's the one that sprays the acid to Two-Face. If you know that, he did that in The Long Halloween. It's different from different versions. He was played by Eric Roberts in The Dark Knight. That's Salvatore Moroni. So let me stop there. Cyber, tell me your thoughts on meeting Penguin's mom up to Salvatore Moroni's prison meeting.
So the scene where he goes and grabs the new car is hilarious, because I feel that car looks a lot better than his purple Materazzi or whatever kind of car it is. And So I was kind of cracking up like, this car looks a little nicer than that one he's got, but that one's supposedly nicer. But I think it's funny that he has like a old classic Volvo, which would be I feel a car that Oswald would have. But him like getting in the car and the 9 to 5 song played was absolutely freaking hilarious. Me and my wife both were laughing when that happened, and we're just like, what the hell? Like 9 to 5? What? Like, where did this song come from? Like, what the hell? And we're like, I don't get how this plays into the DC universe, but okay, we'll take it. It's funny. And they make their way to his house, and he's like, I've never bought anybody here before. And at first, you're kind of like, what? Like, that just sounds kind of weird there, Cobblepot, a little bit. And then they go in, and then there's this older lady in there, and and as soon as that happened, I was like, oh shit, that's Pigwoods Bob. That's got to be Pigwoods Bob. And we found out it's Pigwoods Bob. And yeah, that actress did a really good job of portraying somebody that had a mental illness, Alzheimer's, or I'm assuming that's what it probably has, And I think that was done really well. Their whole interaction was done really well, especially after, she finally gets him to say why he wants to leave. And, basically she gives him kind of a pep talk saying, you could do it, hun. You could be the next, Falcone. You could be the boss. And just the look on Penguin's face, that whole conversation, you're just like, you can see a light bulb popping up in his head. And you're just like, holy cow. Like, he is just like, he is thinking, he's plotting. He's like, this is a great idea. Why not? I could be the next top dog. And I think that's a great pep talk for the mother. That I thought that was kind of interesting, that the mom was like, yes, be evil, be a bad guy type of deal. You're just kind of like, is that the kind of pep talk your mom should be giving you? But okay, that works. And great sequence. I love, when Victor comes in, he's noticing the pictures and stuff like that. You can tell he's like, this is his mom's house. This is his family house type of deal. And he's watching the TV, and the penguin sits down next to him and like turns it up. And he's like, damn, that dame. And you're just kind of like, like, what is he talking about? The actress, or he's talking about his mom? And you're like, oh, okay, done well. And leading up to that, basically that point, we get some great kind of like little combos between them two, to basically kind of move them in the direction they need to go. And leading up to basically Penguin going to see Falcone, or not Falcone, sorry, Mascone, what's
which actor?
The Mr. Krabs.
Oh, Clancy Brown.
Clancy Brown.
Yeah, Salvatore Moroni. That's his name.
Moroni. Yeah, Moroni. He goes to see Moroni in the prison, and they have that conversation, and you can just tell that he's still pissed off at Penguin for what happened to the Batman, and basically he says, no, I'm not going to do any business with you because I know the kind of person you are, blah, blah, blah. And they have that really great conversation. And then, he gets about to leave, and they goes, oh, this probably belongs to you. And he gives him back his ring, and you're just like, it's like, where did you get these? Like, oh, well, I think it used to be on the hands of the Falcones. Kind of like a trophy type of deal. And you're just kind of like, and the look on, Clancy Brown's face, you're just like, ooh, you didn't see what was coming. And, you can definitely tell that Penguin did that for a reason. He definitely did that for a reason, as we'll find out. But great sequences, really great portion of the episode. It just flowed so beautifully and just so well. No downtime. It did not feel like filler. It was just entertaining from beginning to end. Really great sequence.
All right, Jeff, give me your thoughts on the meaning of the mother.
You guys covered it. You covered it. It was good.
All right. Well, let me Let me do this right now. Wow, Jeff.
It was good.
Okay. It was good. All right. Well, that's good. I'm happy you're enjoying the scene. Well, I'm happy you like the prison meeting because that was one of my favorite things. I love Clancy Brown, great actor. I mean,
Okay, why didn't we get a comment about the breast there, Jeff? We have not heard any breast mentioned here in this episode review so far.
It was really brief. It was really brief. It was just a glimpse.
Oh my god. Oh my god, that is so funny. All right. So, Jeff, do you have any trailers up and running?
No, I know, but you didn't tell me to get any trailers ready.
All right. Well, let me continue on this. We're almost done here, folks. Anyway, so wow, Jeff, you're definitely my sidekick, Robin. That's why I never liked Robin when I was growing up, and this is why. It's just the incompetence of helping me, the Batman, the Dark Knight himself.
Didn't he say? I thought he said earlier that he had the trailer and he was going to pull it up.
I forgot.
Yes. I have the trailer, but apparently I cannot do the trailer here because of
the share. I don't know why you can't. You should be able to just do it.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Like, hold on. I can share. Like, wait, hold on. Let me find something here. You know what? Hold on. Give me a second, folks. I got an idea here. This is how I do it. This is how I do it.
It almost sounded like he said IKEA.
Yeah. I don't know. I sound like more like Pee Wee Herman. All right. I got it. Let me try it here. By the way, great actor. By the way, he played the Penguin's father. So if he was still alive, I think he could have been a great choice to play Penguin's father in the show. But anyway, all right, I got it right here. I got it here. So you see it? You see? Let me put it. Come on. Can you add it in the stage, sir? Because it should be. I don't know if you can see it, sir. Okay, thank you. So let me play it right now. Okay, that was kind of cinematic with congratulations. Wow, great trailer. Really love it. By the way, cool for them to release this first episode on September 19th, the week before Batman Day, in September 21st. Just want to bring that up. This week was Batman Day from Saturday, so it's really cool to have a Batman related project there. Oh, and I just want to bring this up before we end this episode. We're gonna go into the last part. There's gonna be a weird scheduling off here. Yes, this episode was released on Thursday, but they did it because something was going on this week and they wanted to post this early. But starting from episode 2, we're going to get these episodes on Sunday, just like any other HBO show, like House of the Dragon. If you've seen our content here, just like HBO shows, they always release this on Sunday. So we're going to go back to the traditional HBO schedule. Because that was something I was kind of confused. I never realized when this week this episode dropped. So I just want to let you know. Cyber, let me get to you. What's your thoughts on the trailer? Fantastic trailer.
This trailer is fantastic. I mean, as soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh my God, this is exactly what I wanted from this show. This is exactly how I had pictured it. It has the elements of the Batman, elements of Gotham, mixed with a really dark, bloody, R-rated film. Like, it just looked so freaking awesome. And like I said, I can't express enough how much I love Colin Farrell as the Penguin. He has been fantastic as the character. He will go down as one of my all-time favorites of the Penguin, who played the Penguin. I mean, don't get me wrong, Danny DeVito, loved him in Batman Returns, but this is even upscale so much more. And he is just so fantastic. And so as soon as I knew the trailer popped out, I was like, oh my God, I got to watch this like at least a dozen times. And it just, from that first moment of watching it, I'm like, this looks so freaking good. And it just was a really well done trailer. It showed you good amount, but not too much. It gave you, pieces that I feel really give you an idea of where it's going, what it's about. And I think that it was just a really fantastically done trailer.
Awesome. Any thoughts, Jeff? Or
No, we already discussed the trailers already. We talked about them.
awesome. All right, let's move on to the spectacular climax of the episode here, the finale part, the third act. So after the prison visit, Oswald is driving back to his house, apartment, excuse me, and unfortunately, he sees Sophie and a couple of her men are waiting for him at his apartment. And this is, I do agree with you, Cyber. Like, the car is cool, but it's kind of like very like unsubtle. Like, if you see that car, it's like, oh, that's the Penguin. We need to get him. Let's go. And so easily he got caught by Sophie. She recognized the car. She tells her men to like get him. So he forces to leave a car chase, which is pretty awesome. Very cool car chase. So the henchmen arrive at like a small like menu or like a small like alley. The car is like abandoned. And really cool way for the Penguin to trick them is by going to the trunk, which was a smart move. I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Like, every time people try to escape Hitchman, they start running. And I was like, why? Now I realize you can use the trunk to your advantage. It's like ridiculous. So good job, Penguin. You did a smart move here. So he gets out of the trunk. He is trying to lose, her Hitchman in the street. But he gets like in a fight with one of them in the car. He throws one of the like the freshener he has and like stab him in the eye. And by the way, this is maybe the most like a very dark comedy humor scene here, the best one. He stabs the guy's eye. He's going to shoot him, and randomly a bus hits this guy so bloodily, like violently, with a full of kids with know that, and the kids look at this and they see Oswald and he's like hi, and then he gets knocked out by one of the hitchmen. So after that, he is taken to the Falcone mansion, and I was surprised. And this is what I mean, parallel, like just like Africa, we got to see Africa butt, or her being naked, which was beautiful. I was not expecting to see Penguin being naked, and so we see him strip, torture. Apparently, Sophie, who was in Arkham, apparently she got stripped. They stripped him to like I don't know, like hose her or something like that. So, or torture, to behave in the prison. Why not? So she is torturing us, to demand where is Alberto's whereabouts. And this is one of my favorite scenes. Like, forget about the lunch scene, which is also great. This scene of her trying to get the information from Oz here is so spectacular. Like, this is like her Heath Ledger scene, like Joker, like level of like just scary shit. Like, she has one of the kids that from the beginning of them was trying to steal his wheels, and he's beating it up. And like, she is telling us like, tell me I'm not this crazy person, that I'm not this paranoid, and then it's like, and tell me this kid is telling the truth or lying. And he's like, I don't know this kid. And then she gets the gun and bam, shoots the kid. I was like, whoa. Like, I mean, I agree with Cyber. Like, for these two acts for this episode, it's like, okay, we're going really hard. This was like freaking hard. Like, seeing a kid dead, like headshot. I was like, whoa. And then the worst of all is this poor Penguin. This guy, the henchman, has a wire, and they put it in the underpit, and he starts doing like the addition, the Japanese film from 1999. He does that, and it's like, oh my god, it's like very hardcore trying to get information that way. So like, she's very badass, just trying to get like every bit of Penguin to say the truth and all that, but they get distracted because suddenly a car drives into the mansion and crashing into the statue. Sophie walks there. The whole family kind of hears this, and then Sophie goes around to the trunk and is horrified to find Alberto's corpse in the trunk. And then there's a word written called payback. So this is where Cyber kind of foreshadow here. So this is setting up that Maroni did this. So because he has the ring back, because the finger is cut out, so that is going to indicate that that's Maroni's man that did it. So right away, that's the plan of the Penguin, is trying to get this gang war up and running. And so that was great. And she starts screaming, and wow, fantastic, like scene here. And then we cut back to Penguin, and Penguin starts to cackle, and he starts to laugh generally, because we saw that a little bit in the beginning of the episode, but he realized he did a mistake here. Here, he's laughing because now the plan is full motion and it's successful. So that's great. And after that, Oz is released. He meets with Victor, and he sees that Victor has ambitions. And by the way, I love that they're at buddies and they have the slushies. That is so funny and cute. It's like he's with his partner here having some slushy, which is great. So obviously here, it's the final scene. He's kind of iterates his plan to Victor. He wants to take over the family business, basically. Now that they have successfully framed Maroni for the Alberto's murder. Oz and Victor drink the slushy, and he iterates the plan to take over the Falcone crime family. And then we hear again the 9 to 5 song, because it's hard. I kind of get why they use the song. It's this title is called After Hours. Penguin has not slept. He's been up since the midnight, from this episode, and he hasn't slept at all. So I really dug this episode. It's he's doing his usual business. He's doing his his office days now, his office hours as usual. As a crime gangster, what you want to call him. And yeah, and cut. That's the end of the episode. Wow. Great way to end the episode. And just to the end, before we get into our panelists here, the finger getting cut is also from the comic books. If you haven't seen Dark Victory, she also get that. But instead of she receives the finger in a box. Here's the opposite, where she sees, Alberto's daughter, but there's a missing finger. So it's really cool that they adapt that from the comic books as well. So let me start with Jeff. Jeff, tell me your thoughts on Penguin getting chased by Sophie's henchmen through the ending of this episode.
It was a really well done ending portion of the episode. Definitely kept my attention really, really, really well, and added some action, some flair to the episode, along with the torture scene, which was kind of action packed in a way. It kind of just added a little bit more oomph to the episode. And it really makes Sophie look really crazy, obviously. And it was really cool seeing the Penguin walk away unscathed, and rocking it out with Victor with the slushies at the end of the episode. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. Definitely a 9 out of 10 for the episode.
Wow, 9 out of 10. That's awesome. Cyber, thoughts on the Penguin being chased and then up to the ending.
Really great. I mean, the whole chase sequence is done really well. The car chasing, the actual fighting is really great. That guy getting hit by the bus was awesome. Penguin, once again, you mentioned, him hiding in the trunk was such a great idea. Absolutely love that. I thought that was a great concept. And then leading up to him being captured there and then ended up naked. And I was like, I did the same thing. I'm like, why the fuck is he naked to be tortured? I don't get this. And, then basically started to rip on his arm. I was like, whoa, what the hell? And, just once again, the great passion of that actress playing Sophia did a phenomenal job. And, basically that whole kind of like torture sequence was really done well. Just like Jeff said, very action packed, really well done. And, then all of a sudden that car crashing and then go to check out what that crash was. And then finding the, Alberto in there with his finger cut off. And then, payback on the door was like such genius. And, basically we end up figuring out that that's what he asked Victor to do, if you could do it, if you could do it. And then when they, after, he goes back to him and he's cackling, that it worked. And then they're having their slushies together. And he's like, I thought you were going to do the head. I thought you were just going to have the head in there, not the whole body. And he's like, well, I tried to start to cut it and it didn't work. And then I tried to say it thinking I would another way and that way. And it just ended up being the finger being easier. And he's like, oh, okay, I get it. And he's like, you like the twist, don't you? You like the mixing the flavors, don't you? And I love that. That's like a callback to the beginning of the episode, them talking about that. And I love that scene in the which I don't think anybody mentioned, the scene where they're in the auto the like trash heap at night and they're eating the burgers and the bonfire's going, and he's like, hey, you could have taken those hubcaps instead for me. And I think that was another great scene that really showed kind of their kind of brotherhood growing there a little bit too as well. And I just wanted to mention that real quick. But really great ending, a really well done way of starting the series off, the limited series. Fantastic first episode, hands down, fantastic.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, that was another funny scene. Well, it was funny because Victor offers the pickles for Penguin's burger because he didn't have like enough pickles for his burger. It was funny. The Victor say, "Hey, did you want my burger?" And it's like, why? You just eating your bite? No. It's like, it was funny. It's like, I'll be like the same as this. Like, thank you to offer your pickles to me, but you already ate half your burger, so I'm not gonna eat your contaminated burger, sir. So yes, I thought that also that scene, when they're in the garbage yard, whatever you want to call it, during the night, it was that was another funny part there. So let's get to ratings. Jeff already gave us the rating 9 out of 10. Cyber, what's your rating for this episode?
A giant 10. Fantastic, fucking perfection, amazing episode, great start, great pilot, hands down, 10 out of 10.
Awesome. Yes, I will. Yeah, I have to give this a 10 out of 10. I was very impressed. I'm not a huge Penguin fan, and the fact that they made me like this character, this version of the Penguin, I agree with Cyber. Colin Farrell is an amazing actor. This is definitely my favorite version of the Penguin. I do love the 60s version. I kind of like the interviews version. I mean, he's so funny in that. Like, I was treated as number 2. It's like, okay, Penguin, I get your Toller jokes there in Batman Returns. Anyway, so yeah, 10 out of 10. Fantastic pilot. One of the best pilots I've seen in a while. Like, they just nailed what we're going to have for this series. So let me hand this to Jeff. So he's going to give us the plugs. And then just to let you guys know our schedule. Wednesday, we're going to have Africa Olan episode 3 recap. So please meet us there. And then Friday.
2 and 3. 2 and 3.
2 and 3.
Agatha, not Africa.
Yeah, you guys, you know what I'm talking about. Olan show, episode 2, 3 now, I guess, the recap. Okay. And Friday, these two guys are doing the Rings of Power. I don't know what episode they're up to. I think episode 7. So yeah, go ahead, Jeff.
Okay, Cyberneticshark, sir.
All right, so folks, if you enjoy me here on the panel, or if you enjoy me as a moderator on the MCU'S Bleeding Edge, you can check out my solo content. You can find me under Cyberneticshark. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, X, Patreon, Threads, pretty much anywhere you have a social media platform. You can see as there, my most recent trailer reaction I just dropped was Terrifier 3, which comes out next month. Gonna be awesome. Look, check that out. Check out my review of Alien Romulus. Really great review. Really love it. Really fantastic. Check it out. And of course, if you enjoy that stuff, please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out any of that great stuff. But as always, people, always, if you enjoy any of us here on the MC's Bleeding Edge, check out the MC's Bleeding Edge, subscribe, watch us, and keep on trucking.
Awesome. By the way, folks,
Okay.
check his reviews. They're awesome.
I'm doing the pop culture guy.
Whoa, okay. Hello, everyone. This is Andreas Pop Culture Guy. So I posted my Peter Venkman Ghostbuster tribute because Saturday was Bill Murray's birthday, so check that out. I'm doing shorts now, so I did a recent short on that video you see here with the Peter Venkman. So check that short. I just want to bring up very quickly. By the way, I'm hitting. I just went up increased subscribers, so that's great. The live stream. I did a live stream yesterday. Blazing Saddles 50th anniversary. I did it with Aston. Thank you, Aston. He was awesome. Unfortunately, I got a little hiccup with the copyright, so it's no longer available. So I had to. So I was unable to get it on appeal. So I'm really sorry, folks, about that. I really feel sorry. The time and effort, and Aston was amazing. He was a really great host. But no worries. I'm gonna plan to do more, live streams for October. So it'll be 2 weeks. So I'm gonna get another one. But I need to have a more deep discussion with my hosts and what they want to do, because right now this September has been really awful for me and it's been crazy. But that's all I have to say. I just want to thank you, everyone, for being here with the Penguin live review recap. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'm excited to move forward to moderate the next episodes when it's my turn.
All right, everybody. We appreciate everybody very much. God bless you. Have a wonderful rest of your Monday evening. We'll see you on Wednesday for Agatha episodes 2 and 3. Peace.